Okay, good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining the webinar this evening. Firstly, I want to thank the coop project for choosing me to be their ambassador from Ireland to go to Greece to visit the Pindos chicken cooperative, which is in the northwest part of Greece in Leonia. So just get on into it here. So Pindos is a leading poultry meat integrator in Greece. It was established in 1958 and produces about 30% of the chicken meat production in Greece. The co-op is made up of about 600 farmers over that time. It's a very modern facilities and cutting edge technology throughout. The turnover of the company from 2020 figures was just over 270 million, and the company produces approximately 300,000 breeders and produces more than 36 million broiler birds each year, which produces again 270 tons of chicken manure in the process, which we'll talk a wee bit about later. So just go on to the production. So Pindos operates just about 500,000 square meters of housing between breeders, broilers, free range, and the bio chicken poultry. I'll just speak slightly just about the bio chicken. That is basically free range birds, very slow growing. They keep it to about 56 to 70 days. It's one of their more environmentally green aspects to the company. But there's a big part of the production is free range. The company also has its own hatchery, which we visited, and 90% of the eggs that are goes into the hatchery comes from the company's own farms within Greece, and the other 10% is imported from other countries throughout Europe, mainly France and the UK. The hatchery is very modern and very well advanced and highly biosecure, very state-of-the-art building. Again, its own feed mill, producing about 50 tons of feed an hour. Produces the mills all its own raw materials, mainly 100% plant-based materials consisting of grains, non-genetically modified potassium sources, inorganic materials, and a balanced mixture of vitamin minerals and non-GM fruits and amino acids. Going on then to the production facilities. The slaughterhouse produces the processing plant. Can handle about 8,000 units per hour and uses modern techniques. The very modern, other than the whole bird, it has got another automated cut-up line, its own chilling facilities, weighing, packaging. From the processing plant, it produces all the oven ready and fresh products. And all the cut up then, or some of the cut up then goes to its brand new cooking plant or baking plant, as they call it. We visited the cooking plant, and we seen the raw product coming in at one end, and within 30 minutes, it was chicken nuggets we were seeing coming in or pre-prepared, go into the cooker, through the cooking process, chilled, packaged, and into the deep freeze going to -18 within 30 to 40 minutes of while we were there. They have a large cooling facility, our cold store, 4,000 square meters, which can handle both fresh and frozen, and which we also seen. The capacity can freeze up to 30 tons a day and store 5,000 tons of product. Moving on then to the fertilizer rendering side of the business. This was a very interesting piece. Now, we didn't actually get to visit it on the day. We'd run out of time, but we seen video of it from a conferencing. So the fertilizer plant uses anaerobic fermentation to convert chicken litter into natural organic fertilizer suitable for all crops. It has production capacity of 2,500 tons a year. Alongside this, then we have the rendering plant, which I will talk a wee bit about more in a moment. But again, it processes all the waste streams from the processing plant, all the animal byproducts, and turns them into poultry meal and animal fats. Just going back a stage to the farms. One part that we did visit here on the day was a very high spec farm which monitored. They were looking to monitor their carbon footprint, and it basically run nutrition trials on these farms and monitored the ammonia and the CO2 in the air. And the whole ethos of it was to fix a carbon footprint for the company. So in that circular economy there, they use local grains, or source as much of the local grain as possible to feed their broilers, to produce their chicken for their customers. The waste is then collated, fermented, and used turned into a fertilizer, which then goes back into cereal production. So they are closing the loop. Going on to the rendering part. So again, this is a circular bioeconomy process. So the rendering of the Cat1 materials. So all the dead birds are collected from the farm and transported to the rendering plant. They're rendered to high temperature, and the poultry meal that is produced is then incinerated. This incineration part of it, then basically you're left with water vapor and ash at the end up. So the heat that's produced in this process then goes on into a CHP plant, which produces steam and drives a turbine, which produces electricity for the processing plant. And then the other part left is the ash, which is returned to the fertilizer plant for enhancing for the chicken litter for the soil enhancer. Moving on then to the slaughter, the byproducts which comes from the slaughterhouse. So that is the hearts, necks, gizzards, livers. They are rendered down. They are a category 3 material. So this meal that is produced from this product can then go on to be fed to one of their largest markets is fish farming, which is there's a lot of fish farms around the coast of Greece, and this is a main source for getting rid of their pellet from the rendering plant. Once again, this is a circular process from an economic process. The birds are produced, the waste streams are captured, the renewable energy plant and the rendering processes then goes on to just biomethane and electricity, and the green electricity then is fed back into the process. It was the whole trip was based around the environmental and green credentials, very much driving the company towards producing the lowest carbon footprint they can. And this is essential for the area that they're in, because Pindos is located in a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and meaning they're very, very environmentally aware in their day-to-day work processes, and so the environmental sustainability is inbuilt into their ethos of the company, and this is all working towards reducing their carbon footprint for the future. So that's a very quick synopsis of the company that I visited, and if there's any questions now or later, feel free to ask. Thanks very much.